The Young and the Restless Spoilers Jordan's dark obsession, a plan to reclaim Claire Jordan, was not a woman easily deterred. Her obsession with Claire, her estranged daughter, had morphed into something monstrous. The loss of Claire to a life of deceit and privilege as Victoria Newman's daughter consumed Jordan, and her desire to reclaim her child had crossed every boundary of morality. But this wasn't about motherly love, it was about control, power, and the twisted satisfaction of remaking Claire in her image. Now, whispers of her sinister plan sent shivers through Genoa City. Jordan wasn't just planning to reunite with Claire, she intended to erase her entirely, creating a version of Claire that only she could control. Claire senses danger. Claire's seemingly perfect life had been unraveling ever since Jordan reappeared in Genoa City. Though she hadn't encountered her mother directly since the revelation of their relationship, Claire could feel the looming threat. Strange incidents began to occur, anonymous phone calls, shadowy figures lurking near her home, and unsettling notes left at her door. "She's trying to scare me," Claire confided in a rare moment of vulnerability to Cole. "I know Jordan. She doesn't just want to expose me, she wants to destroy me." Cole, ever pragmatic, tried to calm her fears. "Claire, she's all talk. She's trying to rattle you. We just have to stay one step ahead of her." But Claire wasn't convinced. She knew her mother too well. Jordan was cunning, ruthless, and unrelenting. If she wanted something, she wouldn't stop until she had it. The plan takes shape unknown to Claire. Jordan had already begun putting her plan into motion. Her goal wasn't just to reclaim Claire, it was to erase her identity entirely. The rumors swirling through Genoa City were more than mere speculation, they were the chilling outline of Jordan's master plan. Stage Claire's death. Jordan intended to fabricate evidence of Claire's death, leaving just enough clues to make it believable. A staged car crash, a disappearance in the middle of the night, whatever it took to convince Genoa City that Claire was gone for good. Kidnapping and isolation. Once Claire was dead in the eyes of her friends and family, Jordan would abduct her. She had already scouted a remote location in another city where she could keep Claire hidden, far from prying eyes. Erase her memories. To ensure Claire could never return to her former life, Jordan planned to use the same horrifying tactic she had once inflicted on Sharon. A potent drug, injected at the right dose, would erase Claire's memories and leave her vulnerable to Jordan's manipulation. The drug, a tool of control. Jordan's use of memory-erasing drugs was not new. Sharon's temporary amnesia after a mysterious incident at Heather's house was no accident. Jordan had tested the drug's effectiveness on Sharon, refining her methods for maximum impact. Now, she intended to use the same technique on Claire. The drug wasn't just about erasing memories, it was about control. Without her past, Claire would be entirely dependent on Jordan. She would be malleable, a blank slate ready to be molded into the obedient daughter Jordan had always wanted. The staged death. Jordan's plans to fake Claire's death were chillingly detailed. She would leave enough evidence to convince even the most skeptical investigators. Perhaps a personal item left at the scene of an accident or a letter suggesting Claire had decided to leave Genoa City forever. The goal was simple, to ensure no one would come looking for Claire. By the time anyone realized something was wrong, Claire would be far away, living under a new identity crafted by Jordan. The Newmans, Cole, and anyone else in Claire's life would be left to mourn her disappearance, never suspecting the truth. Claire's growing fear. As the days passed, Claire's sense of impending doom only grew stronger. She couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched, that every step she took was being monitored. She confided in Cole again, her voice trembling with fear. "She's going to do something, Cole. I can feel it. Jordan doesn't make idle threats. If she can't have me her way, she'll take everything from me." Cole, who had been skeptical of the extent of Jordan's influence, began to take Claire's concerns more seriously. He started noticing the subtle signs of Jordan's reach, missing items, strange messages, and even the feeling of being followed himself. "We need to be ready," he said grimly. "If Jordan's coming for you, we can't let her win." The final move. Jordan's obsession was reaching its breaking point. She had everything she needed to execute her plan, but there was one thing she hadn't accounted for: Claire's growing awareness. The closer Jordan got to enacting her scheme, the more Claire began to piece together her intentions. Claire, determined not to let Jordan control her life, began to fight back. She confided in the Newmans, despite the strain in their relationship, and even reached out to Sharon, hoping to learn more about Jordan's methods. "You can't let her get to you," Sharon warned, her own voice heavy with the weight of past trauma. "She's a master manipulator, Claire. Don't underestimate her." A battle for survival. The confrontation between Jordan and Claire seemed inevitable. For Jordan, this was about reclaiming what she believed was rightfully hers. For Claire, it was a fight for her freedom, her identity, and her future. As the pieces of Jordan's plan began to fall into place, the question loomed: would Claire be able to outsmart her mother, or would she fall victim to the same monstrous tactics that had ensnared Sharon? Genoa City watched with bated breath as the drama unfolded, knowing that in a town built on secrets, the truth always comes at a price. This narrative captures the chilling tension of Jordan's plan and Claire's growing desperation while weaving in the wider implications for Genoa City. Let me know if you'd like to explore any specific aspects further. Jordan, a mother's desperation or a monster's obsession? In the tangled web of Genoa City's dramas, few figures evoke such polarizing emotions as Jordan. To some, she is a calculating villain, a manipulative force who thrives on chaos and destruction. To others, she is simply a desperate mother trying to mend the broken ties with her daughter, Claire. But Jordan's methods, extreme, unconventional, and, at times, cruel, blur the line between love and obsession, leaving everyone wondering, what is she really trying to achieve? A mother's pain. For Jordan, the drive to reclaim Claire isn't born out of malice but out of a profound sense of loss. Claire, her biological daughter, represents a piece of Jordan's heart that was torn away long ago. When Claire chose to distance herself, embracing a life of luxury and privilege as Victoria Newman's daughter, it was a betrayal that cut deeply. From Jordan's perspective, Claire didn't just leave, she abandoned her, choosing wealth and status over the love of her real mother. The pain of this rejection consumed Jordan, warping her longing into a relentless determination to bring Claire back into her life, no matter the cost. "She's my daughter," Jordan would often mutter to herself. "I brought her into this world. No one can take her away from me, not Victoria, not anyone." Claire's choice. Claire, on the other hand, had her reasons for leaving. Growing up under Jordan's shadow was far from easy. Jordan's controlling nature, her schemes, and her obsession with revenge had created a toxic environment that Claire desperately wanted to escape. The allure of the Newman name and the promise of a glamorous life offered her an out, a chance to reinvent herself and leave the chaos behind. But Claire's choice wasn't just about ambition or greed. It was about survival. To her, stepping into the role of Victoria's daughter wasn't just an opportunity, it was a lifeline. However, this decision came with a cost. Claire had to sever ties with Jordan, a move that created a chasm between mother and daughter, one that seemed impossible to bridge. Jordan's shift in focus. For years, Jordan had directed her energy toward revenge against Victor Newman, a man she saw as the root of many of her problems. But as time passed and the fire of vengeance burned out, Jordan found herself adrift, with no clear purpose or target. That's when her thoughts turned to Claire. With nothing left to distract her, Jordan fixated on repairing, or recreating, her relationship with her daughter. In her mind, bringing Claire back wasn't just a goal, it was her destiny. But Jordan's idea of reclaiming Claire was anything but ordinary. She wasn't content with apologies or reconciliation, she wanted total control. A questionable approach. Jordan's methods to bring Claire back are what make her so divisive. Instead of approaching her daughter with vulnerability or love, she relies on manipulation, fear, and even extreme tactics like staging Claire's death or using memory-erasing drugs. These actions, while horrifying, come from a place of desperation rather than malice. Claire doesn't know what's best for her, Jordan rationalizes. She's lost, confused. I need to guide her back to the truth. Jordan genuinely believes that by erasing Claire's current identity and isolating her from the world, she can create a new bond between them. To Jordan, this isn't cruelty, it's salvation. Not a villain, not a saint. It's easy to label Jordan as a villain, given the lengths she's willing to go. Her plans are extreme, her methods ruthless, and her obsession unsettling. But to dismiss her as purely evil would be to overlook the pain and longing that drive her actions. Jordan's desperation stems from a place of deep love, a love so intense that it blinds her to the harm she's causing. "Everything I do for her," Jordan once said in a rare moment of vulnerability. "She's my daughter. I can't just let her go." But Claire, now fully immersed in her life as a Newman, doesn't see things the same way. To her, Jordan's actions are suffocating, even monstrous. She doesn't recognize the love behind Jordan's obsession, only the danger it poses. A battle between worlds. The conflict between Jordan and Claire isn't just a personal struggle, it's a battle between two worlds. On one side is Claire's life of privilege and status, a life she's fought to maintain. On the other is Jordan's vision of a reunited family, one where Claire abandons her current life to return to her mother's side. This isn't a story of good versus evil, it's a tragedy born of misunderstanding, pain, and choices that can't be undone. Jordan isn't trying to destroy Claire's life out of spite, she's trying to reclaim a piece of herself. But in doing so, she risks becoming the very monster Claire sees her as. The heart of the matter ultimately, the question isn't whether Jordan is evil or if Claire is right to reject her. The question is whether love, no matter how flawed or desperate, can ever justify the lengths Jordan is willing to go. Can a mother's longing for her child excuse manipulation and deceit? Or does Jordan's refusal to let go of the past condemn her to lose Claire forever? For now, the future remains uncertain. Claire feels the danger looming, but escaping Jordan's grasp might not be so simple. And Jordan, relentless and resourceful, won't stop until she has her daughter back, even if it means breaking her in the process. One thing is certain. In Genoa City, where secrets and schemes are the currency of life, the line between love and obsession is never clear. This perspective dives into Jordan's emotional motivations, balancing her actions between love and obsession, and highlights the tragedy of her relationship with Claire. Let me know if you'd like to expand or adjust any part.